Howdy, howdy, and welcome to our tutorial discussing algebra tiles, or area tiles, as they're also commonly called. Today we're going to be talking about how to read them, because obviously we can't work with them unless we know how to read them. Highly recommend taking a piece of paper out or some notes so you can refer back to these notes as we work the problems later on. As we first begin, let's look at the area of these tiles. So this tile right here has a length of 1 and a width of 1. If we were to shade that in, the area of this tile would be equal to 1. When we move forward, this tile has a length of x, a width of 1. If we were to shade in that area, we would find that the area here is equal to, x. And last but not least, if we take this large square, which has a length of x and a width of x, shade it in, we would find our area is equal to x squares. And we'll be using this information moving forward to multiply terms to give binomials. Let's move on to our first problem. So as we mentioned earlier, we can represent this term x as the rectangle with a length of x and a width of 1. And we can also represent the plus 2 as 2 squares. We can do the same thing so that overall this is equal to the x plus 2. We can do the same thing with our other term here, representing the x as that rectangle and representing 1 as our smaller squares. Now, to figure out the product of these two terms and figure out our binomial, all we have to do is multiply the terms. You have a value of x here and a value of x here, marking 1 and 1. This gives us a square of x squared. When you have x times 1 and x times 1, or we have x times 1 and times 1, we have x's. Same thing here. And last but not least, we have 1 times 1 times 1, which can be represented as our smaller squares. Now, to figure out the product, or to figure out the full polynomial, all we have to do is add up the terms. We have an x squared term. We have 3 x terms. And we have 2 one value terms. So this ends up being our answer. Now I want you to try. See if you can figure out what the answer is for multiplying these binomials. Hopefully you've worked through that and you're able to see that we represent x plus 3 as our rectangle with 3 cubes, and x plus 2 as our rectangle with 2 squares. When we add them together, we get our x squared right here. Just filling in the other gaps. Sorry, that should be purple. and then our smaller squares. Now to figure out our final answer, all we have to do is look at the area that's there and look at the terms. We have one x squared term. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 x terms. We have 6 individual units. So that is our answer. Here's our extension, something for you to think about. How can we use our algebra tiles to multiply this set of terms here? What's different from these terms from our other terms? I'll give you a hint. Look at the signs of this term. And how will that impact our method? See you next time.